Hey everyone, how's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a while. Haven't done a video in a long time. Due to certain things that have happened in the last year with YouTube and my account, but we're not going to discuss that. Doing this one today in hopes, as usual, that it helps somebody out there. No other purpose of doing it other than that. So the only thing I am going to ask you guys to do, if you can, is if you enjoy the video, please like it. Please hit the like. Leave a comment if it helps you out. And if you're looking forward to content like this and what might happen with this item that's right next to me in the future, then please subscribe to the channel. I never usually ask you guys, but if I'm not seeing any kind of growth or interest, then it's no point for me making the videos. So I appreciate you guys taking the time. I decided to do this video because this is an item that I found out about it around the 1st of April of this year, 24. I believe it came out April 1st or the first week of April. And when I heard about it, I ordered it because I was looking for a guitar to use for a mod project. So that's why I bought it personally. But a lot of people don't really know what it is. I'm going to try to explain it, what I believe what it is, to the best of my ability from all my years of experience, and talk about it a little bit. And also because since I purchased the guitar, and I have to apologize, I'm late to the party. I've had this thing in my garage for like 3 weeks. I have not had the time to do anything with it. I just unboxed it. I'll probably put in some pictures. I didn't actually shoot a video. I just took some pictures of me opening the box. It's very basic. And we're going to talk about it now. And really why I'm doing this, which is what I started to say, is that a bunch of people have posted videos since I bought the guitar. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll get to it. It's in the garage, you know, when I have the time. And my experience has not been what other people have been saying. And that's why I want to talk about this. And I also, as a tech, for those of you that follow this channel, you guys know that I've been doing this for way too long, over 30 years. And as a tech, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of measurements. I want to really go into what this guitar actually is, because there's no information about it online whatsoever, best to my knowledge anyway, as of this recording. So here's the item in question. This is the Fender Squier Debut Series Strat. Now, like I said, this popped up first week of April, or April 1st, one or the other, on Amazon. This is the only place you can get it. It's 120 bucks plus tax. I think I paid 128, free shipping to the door. It got here in like 3 days, 2 days, whatever it was. No information on it whatsoever. It's not on Fender's website. It's not on Squier's website. It's not on forums unless, you know, users have put it there. It's not on blogs. It's not on anything. It just is a random thing that's on Amazon. I bought it, like I said, because I wanted to do a mod project, and I was looking for a cheap, and I don't mean cheap as in quality, cheap as in price, affordable red Strat for a project, because I really need another guitar. Like, I need a hole in the head. Believe me when I tell you. You guys know this already. We have way too many things. But anyway, I have an idea of what I want to do for a modification for something for myself, which required a red Strat, so that's why I bought it. And I pretty much knew what I was going to get into with getting this. Now, this is what I think this is. I think that this is the true rebranding of the Bullet series guitar. And I could be wrong, because I no longer work in the retail part of the guitar business, which I did for 10 years, for those of you guys that don't know. But my instincts is telling me this is going to be the first one, which comes in 3 colors. It's this Dakota Red, black, and a 2-tone sunburst, brown and black. I think they might come out with a Telly too, and maybe a couple of other cheap models. But according to Fender, the Bullet series, which is the 2nd or 3rd iteration of the Bullet series, I think it was last year, they changed it over to the Sonic series. And they're saying it's the same instrument, but it isn't. It's upgraded. It costs way more money. The Bullet guitars, when they first came out 15 years ago-ish, I think they were 109. $109 to $129, depending on if you got a humbucker or whatever. And now the Sonic line is $200 plus. So what I think this is this is the true rebranding of the Bullet. Fender needs something in their catalog. They need something in this price range because they have nothing under $200. So if you go on Amazon right now, this guitar, when I went to go buy it, you couldn't even really find it. You had to search through a few pages to find it. It doesn't really pop up. It might now because it's been a few weeks, but at the time it didn't. But if you punch in, say, I don't know, beginner Stratocaster guitar or something like that, you're going to see a whole list come up of Chinese and Asian import guitars that start at anywhere from $59 and up. Now, I don't expect Fender to make a $59 guitar, but you guys understand what I'm saying. They don't have anything in that price point, around the $100-ish price point, you know, for a beginner or for somebody that wants a cheap guitar, you know, an affordable guitar. So that's what I think this is. I think this is the true rebranding of the Bullet. It has a lot of the same specs with the exception of the body is satin or matte finish rather than gloss. Other than that, the neck feels the same except there's no skunk stripe on the back, which is kind of a bummer for me because I like the feel of that, just the way I play. I'm used to picking up a Strat and feeling that skunk stripe. But, I mean, for the money, I'm not going to complain. And truthfully, in the future when you guys see this guitar, there's going to be nothing on it that's the same. So it you know, it's just a mod project for me. Basically the body and the neck will stay and everything else is going to go. So the one thing I do want to talk about is when I unbox this, and this is where we're going to start the video. When I unboxed this, I had several problems, which is what I want to get into now. All right, guys, so when I first unboxed the guitar, it comes with this little bag, right? And an instruction manual, that's it. So the first problem that I came across is I pulled the guitar out of the box. I said, okay, take out this whammy bar. So let me put the whammy bar in. So I'm going to do it in front of you guys so you can see it. Does that look like a problem? Doesn't even go in. And it's stuck. It's stuck right here. It stops. And you can keep going tighter, but it won't go anymore. That's it. It won't go. So it's not even halfway threaded in. So that was the first problem. So I'm like, okay, well, it's a $120 guitar. I guess the bridge is junk, which I'm going to talk about later also. So that was the first issue. The second issue is I say, okay, let's tune it up. So we're going to pop in a tuner. And we're going to tune it up. So right now, low E is at E flat roughly. We're going to go up to E. Just hit E on the tuner. And my tuner will not move any farther. It will not move. It's like it gets to a certain tension and it just stops. So those are the first two problems right out of the box for me. And that's why I said my experience with this guitar hasn't been great. Keep in mind, it's a mod platform, so all this stuff is going anyway. But if you buy this guitar and you're a kid, let's say you're a 13-year-old kid and you save up 120 bucks and you buy this guitar and it's your first guitar, I would not want to pull this out of the box and have this problem that you can barely tune it. Now granted, the other 5 strings and the other 5 tuning pegs on top here are totally fine, but I got one bad one here and I got a whammy bar that won't even screw in. The bridge is also very tight, like the springs are really tight, you can't even push it down. So like that needs adjustment. That's a tech issue, that's fine, we can talk about that later. But when basic stuff doesn't work, and I mean I haven't even plugged it in yet, so that's where we're getting started, right? Now, I want to talk about some specs because there are no specs on Amazon's website, or very little, and I want to go through some stuff for you guys and talk about different things here as far as tech specs. Let's see here. I'm going to measure the nut and the neck. Sorry, try to get this in the camera for you guys. The nut is 42 millimeters. The 12th fret is about 51.5. It's saying it's a little over 2 inches at the 12th fret for the width, for the playability on that. Out of the box, neck relief. We're going to measure it now. See where we're at. Like I said, I want to give you guys all the measurements so you know what's going on. And it's actually right. 10/1000ths of an inch. That's what it should be. So out of the box, they got that right as far as setup. We're going to do action now. We're at about 5/64ths, a little over 4, a little over 4, 4, 4, 4. So it's close. E and the A got to come down a little bit, but it's not too bad, all considering. And to have the neck come out of the box like the way it should be, that's cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the strings off because I want to see what's up with the inside. And I'm going to do pickup measurements. I'm going to look at the electronics. Now, my guess from all my years of experience is when I open this up, these are going to be really cheap ceramic magnet pickups, probably between 5 and 6K. Once again, my guess, we're going to find out. These are going to be dime-sized CF pots, real cheap wiring, real cheap, probably green tone cap, just like junk parts. Like I said, it's all getting changed, so for me it doesn't matter, but for you guys out there, you want to see what's inside, we're going to open it now. Oh, by the way, if I don't think I said, this is an alder body, maple neck, and a laurel board, just so you guys know. And I also am going to measure the neck thickness. It says it's almost 23 millimeters at the nut. And almost 24 at the 12 millimeters. So it's thin. It's not super big at all. Let's get inside here, and then we'll talk about the trim. Alrighty, moment of truth. What do we got? Firstly, it's routed for humbuckers, which is cool. If you want to put a humbucker in your neck or in your bridge, you're good to go there. No shielding, but I didn't expect that for the money. Once again, really cheap ceramic magnet pickups. We'll measure them in a minute. CF dime size pots, cheap green tone cap, exactly like I said. Let me see if I can get you guys some measurements on these pickups. See where we're at. So it's jumping around quite a bit actually, but I'm getting 5.1K on the bridge pickup, 5.22 on the middle, 5.04 on the neck. So I was close on that. 5K, give or take. Also, really cheap PCB switch, which, I mean, all this stuff works and it's fine, but for longevity, it's not going to last. So you might want to think about upgrading that when you buy this guitar. Last thing is I'm going to talk about the trem. I'm just going to put a couple screws in here so this guard doesn't fall out when I flip the guitar over. So one of the things about these bridges, and I've had this experience with multiple of them before, it's going to be a really thin small block bridge. By the way, there's a lot of like junk in here that fell out from underneath this pick guard, like this white powdery stuff. I don't know. Anyway, these bridges usually have really thin, cheap blocks on them. And the block, in most cases, helps you with your sustain. Now, one guy that did a video, he talked about this, and he said, well, if you buy this guitar, you're not going to be able to upgrade the bridge or put whatever bridge you want in. And that's a false statement. And I'm going to show you that in a minute and show you why. But first, we're going to open it up and take a look at it and measure it so you guys know what's going on. More of that white powdery stuff. So there you go. Really skinny little block in there. And obviously for me, this doesn't work because the trem bar doesn't even fit. So, or it doesn't, whatever, it's not drilled up. Something's not right with it. We'll just put it that way. So for me, this has to go. Now you have a few options with this. If you like the feel of this bridge, you can just replace the block. The issue is, and it's not an issue, it's just, this is the information behind it so you guys know. This is a 1.5 inch thick body and not a 1 3/4 on like an American Strat. It's a little bit thinner, lighter body. So that's why people feel that you can't replace this block. You can, but you have to buy a specific type and style. They're usually between 34 and 36 millimeters. So I'm going to measure it for you, see where we're at with that too. Yeah, 34.9. So what you have to buy is you have to buy what they refer to as a shorty or a short block. And I happen to have one, so I can actually show it to you. Basically, this is a bridge that will probably be put on this guitar. This is a Wilkinson bridge, it's an aftermarket bridge. They make really high quality products. And this bridge, if you look at it, has the short block. Usually it's 40 millimeters, so it comes down to about here. This is a high quality steel bridge with a steel block, short block, like I said, bent steel saddles. It's a way better upgrade, and that's probably what's going to go in this guitar. This bridge, I think, costs 25 bucks. So it's not even like crazy money to, you know, to do these mods. Like, even if you bought this guitar and you like the way it sounds, right? You could replace the bridge for, say, $25 to $35. You can put a nice set of tuners on for maybe 30 bucks and you're good to go. That's it. Make a few little adjustments. Make sure, you know, your action is right. You want your neck relief at 10/1000ths of an inch. String height should be 4/64 all the way across. The nut on this guitar, which actually I measured when I got it out of the box. I should have showed you that too. It's high. And if you can look at it up close, if the camera focuses, I'm not sure, but it looks a little bit jagged, like over here. This is like stuff that needs to be cleaned up, and you want to cut that down so your string height at the first fret is 22/1000ths of an inch. And you'll be good to go. On mine, I found, like I said, and I apologize, I already took the strings off, but I checked it earlier because when I was playing it, after I tuned it up and I played it for a couple minutes, it seemed high up here. And it was 28/28 on the bass side. And then over here was high too, but not that much. It was like just a little bit off. But guys, I think that's it. I think we covered everything. I mean, for me, like I said, this is going to be a mod platform. So, you know, it's going to have all new pickups. I'm going to do fret work on this guitar. And that's another thing I should point out. The frets are not bad at all on this guitar. They look really nice. They're highly polished. Nothing sharp. I know everybody always talks about that in every video. They're like, oh, frets are sharp. This one's fine. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. So honestly, I don't want to say they hit it out of the park, because obviously we have problems, but for the money, and see, this is the whole thing. If you can do this kind of work yourself, or you have somebody local to you that you trust that can do this, it's really not that big a deal. Like, you can have a really good guitar for under $200. Truthfully, if you buy this is my opinion, so you guys take this with a grain of salt. Now, you can buy the upgraded Sonic version, which probably isn't going to be much better than this. You're probably going to still have to replace the hardware on it. It's probably not great. Actually, I saw a video of a guy who did a review on one of those, and when he took the pickguard off, it looked like it was cut out with a cheese grater. It looked horrible. This is really clean. Really clean, for the most part. I mean, look at the back. It's pretty clean for a $120 guitar, you know? So my recommendation is, if you guys buy this, know what you're getting into before you get it. Know that it's going to need some work, and know that it's not going to be perfect. My recommendation is, if you can find somebody that can do the work for you, or you could do it yourself, buy a bridge like this or something similar. Make sure it's a short block bridge, because otherwise what's going to happen is the block is going to stick out of the back of the guitar. It's going to come back over the wood. It's going to be sticking out like high up like this. You're not going to be able to get your plate on, and your springs back here are going to be at a weird like bent angle. It's not going to work right. So just make sure you buy the right block. Whether you choose to change the block yourself, like I said, buy a Wilkinson bridge, buy something similar. I'm sure there's tons of them all over Amazon. Buy a nice set of tuners. They're 10 millimeters. They should drop right in. You're not going to have to drill them. You're not going to have to do anything. Take the screw out of the back. Take the nut off the front. Reverse process. That's it. And you're going to have a decent guitar. I'm actually looking forward to this to be kind of a little beater / mod project thing. And like I said, in the future, if you guys see it again, it's not going to look anything like this. I mean, it's going to be a red Strat, but it's not going to, none of this 29-cent Dollar General stuff is going to be, you know, it's going to be out of here. You know, it's fine for a kid, or if you're just starting off, but when you've been involved with guitar and playing guitar for 30 years, like, you're not, you don't, no. You don't want this stuff. Like I said, it works and it'll get you by, but believe me from experience, it's going to fail. And now this is the other thing I'm going to say too before I leave. I know I've been talking a lot, but it's all relative. The pickups are probably not that bad if you like the sound of them. Okay, if you like the sound of the pickups, or the relative sound of the pickups, we'll say, you can adjust the heights. So if they sound bassy, pull them up. If they sound too bright, drop them down. You know, they're supposed to be like 5/64 from the bottom of the strings, excuse me. But that's like Fender's factory spec guideline. You can do whatever you want. My recommendation is, if you don't want to change all this stuff here, my recommendation is change these pots and get a better tone cap, the tone capacitor. Even if you leave this switch, which it's junk, but it works, just keep it until it dies, you know, until it breaks. And just change these pots out and change the cap. You're going to get a huge upgrade in sound for maybe 20 bucks to change all this. So I mean, you know, take it as a grain of salt. Just work on it, you know, as you go. If you get the guitar you like, you just get it playing good and just play, you know. And then if you want to upgrade it. That would be my recommendations. If you like the way it sounds, cool. If not, bare minimum, do the pots and the cap. New bridge or a new block, and tuners. If you want to go all out, do everything. But, you know, once again, it wasn't, you know, what everybody's been saying it is. And that's why I wanted to do the video. because it's not perfect out of the box. It's not great. You know, it's okay for $120. It's not, oh, it's $120 and it's the greatest thing in the world. And it's no. It's going to need work. It's going to need time. If you can do it yourself, cool. If not, you know, there's videos online. Go to a local tech, have them do it for you. With that said, guys, if you made it to the end, I greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you did. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps someone out there. And if you want to see more of this guitar and what goes on with it in the future, please let me know. I can do a video series on it if you want, but only if there's going to be interest in it, because otherwise I'm not going to bother. You know, these videos take way too much time to do them and to do them right. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for taking the time to watch. You all take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. And before I go, while I'm sitting here, I'm going to put in this Wilkinson bridge while it's sitting on my lap. Take care, guys.